Her kitchen is where the magic is made.
Hi there, I'm Holly, your friendly neighborhood carnivore, and I'm so happy you could join me today. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I have got a ridiculously easy method for cooking chuck roast for you guys. Seriously, you're gonna be cooking in your sleep. What I'm gonna do is show you how I prepared this last night before I went to bed, and then as I slept, it cooked, and this morning it was ready. The house smells wonderful. I have got the most delicious, juiciest, tender chuck roast ever. And I think you guys are gonna like this. It's going to be very simple. Now, with my most basic recipe that I'm gonna show you today, this is 100% green light approved for the Lion diet. All I'm going to be using today is the beef chuck roast, some Redmond's real salt, and some water. And in case you didn't know, the Lion diet is ruminant meat only, salt, and water, and nothing else. So that is exactly what's going into this recipe. You can change it up a little bit if you are not strictly on the Lion diet and you want a little bit more diversity. Even if you are on the Lion diet, you could use bone broth, beef bone broth, instead of the water that I'm using here. I just didn't have any on hand, so we're using water, and it's still delicious. It does not change anything. It's just with that bone broth, it's got a little extra punch of flavor, but it's delicious both ways. If you are not on the Lion diet, I recommend tossing a stick of butter on top before you throw it in, and also maybe using some red wine instead of the water or the bone broth, because that is absolutely delicious. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what I did last night to prep this beautiful piece of meat here, and then I will taste this for you guys and tell you how it is. All right, let's get started. We're gonna start off with a 2.5 to 3 pound chuck roast. The first thing we need to do is blot it dry. We need to do this because it is impossible to get a good sear on a piece of meat that is soggy. Once this has been blotted dry, we're gonna sprinkle some salt on it. Make sure you get it on all the sides, not just the top and bottom. For our next step, you're gonna need a large pot that has a lid and is oven safe. A cast iron Dutch oven works absolutely beautifully, but whatever you get, make sure that it has a lid that seals tightly on it and it can go in the oven. Heat that pot over medium-high heat, and then you're going to add about a tablespoon of tallow. Make sure you go ahead and get it spread over the entire bottom of the pot. Once that tallow is good and hot, it's time to go ahead and put your roast right in there. We're gonna sear it about a minute or two on each side, and don't forget to turn it so that you get all of the sides of the roast as well. Once all of the sides have been browned, you're going to take a 1/2 cup of water or bone broth or red wine, and you're going to pour it directly into the pot, not on top of the meat, but into the bottom of the pot. Go ahead and take your tongs and stir it around, making sure to scrape up all of the brown bits on the bottom of the pot. This is really going to add a lot of flavor as it cooks. If you're wanting to add that optional stick of butter at the end, you can go ahead and put a stick of butter right on top of this roast before we put the lid on. Place that lid on top of your pot and pop it in the oven at 200 degrees, and it's gonna stay there overnight. It can go about 8 to 10 hours. I like to leave a note for my family as well, so that they don't think I left the oven on by accident, and also so they're not looking in the oven to see what smells amazing. It is imperative that the oven stays closed the entire time it cooks. Okay, this is cooked all night long. I turned it off at 8, but I went for a walk, so it's an hour later. It's 9 o'clock now. Here is our beautiful chuck roast. Okay, so it is intact. It is a nice piece of meat. You would almost think it's not tender because you can pick up the whole piece instead of it just falling apart. But you just take your fork and push it down and it is the most tender, juiciest chuck roast ever. All right, let's give this tasty chuck roast a try. Oh my gosh, it's so tender and delicious. This is absolutely my favorite way to cook chuck roast. It does not shrink down like if you were to pressure cook it, or when you leave it in a crock pot. I've noticed that the meat tends to shrink down a whole lot when it cooks that way. But doing this in the oven, really low and slow, let it cook while you sleep. You don't even have to do any work. Just get it seared off and cook with your eyes shut. It makes the most delicious, tender, juicy chuck roast ever. I hope this method simplifies your life. I hope you will give it a try and just absolutely love it as much as I do. Tender, delicious, and juicy, and you didn't even have to do that much work at all. Feel free to come find me over on X or on Instagram, where I share what I eat every day. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see when we've got something delicious cooking up in the kitchen next time. Feel free to leave me a comment. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. Or again, over on X and Instagram, come say hi to me. I love to chit chat with you guys over there. I'm gonna go enjoy this roast, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
She's the friendly neighborhood carnivore with a talent for cooking up a meaty uproar. From juicy steaks to sizzling ribs galore, she'll have you coming back for more. Fellas, smash that like button. She's the carnivore cooking queen. On your screen, bringing the meaty scene. Come on over and join the team for a culinary dream.